Hello everyone, and welcome to Audio Audit. My name is Elias Schaefer, and today I felt like ranking all of Haunted Mound's projects from worst to best. Also, just before we start, I know some of my picks are a little controversial, so if you feel like telling me off in the comment section, I completely understand. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, and starting off with D tier, because I feel like it doesn't really have any F tier albums or anything. I think his worst project is King of the Graveyard. I feel like it's really just like mid. Like not bad at all, but I don't remember any of it. It's just like none of the songs stick out again. I just don't feel like ever like going back to it. And I just don't really have like a favorite song or anything off of it. And his second worst project for me is Rainbow Bridge 2. I just never understood the hype for this. Cemetery's voice on the whole project just doesn't hit. There's like only three songs I really like off here. Those being Duster Huffer, Funeral, and Red Mist. And for his third worst project, I'd say it's Bloody Angel, his latest project. There's some great songs in here, but there's also a lot of bad ones and just like whatever ones. It's just really inconsistent. So like as a whole, it just kind of like evens out to like mid tier, I'd say. Now moving on to C tier, I really only have one project in here, and that's Cutter Lane by Turnabout. I actually really liked it when it first came out, but it's just kind of grown off me since then. Especially since his last album, Lord of Ephraim, is like way better. This whole project just feels like he's kind of emulating the Haunted Mound sound rather than like actually being a member of it. Now moving on to B tier, which I think are the just good albums. Um, Starting with Butcher House, I think it's pretty good. No strong feelings, but like whenever I listen to it, it's just like I enjoy it. It's got good songs there. It's got like Baba Yaba, all those songs. But right above that, I'd put Burning Barn. It's a good album, but I would have expected more from Buckshot, considering how good all of his features and singles were. I love Buckshot, but I feel like he just like needs to have like a good project. None of them have really like, well, the one he has just hasn't been all that great. Moving on, um, I'd say the next project would be Screaming Forest. I feel like it's really overhated, but it's like not like one of his best either. Has some great production and performances, and has a bunch of like classic songs from him too. It has a bunch of classic songs from him too. I really enjoy this one, but I get why people don't like love it or anything. Especially since like right before this he released Rainbow Bridge 3, which is one of his best. And at the top of B tier, I have Lord of Ephraim. I think it's better than Cutter Lane in almost every way, with some super creative production, and Turnabout just seems way more comfortable on here. He sounds more like a member of the group rather than being like an emulator or like a fan of them, or a fan of them. Alright, moving on to A tier, which are the great albums. I think the first song I think the first project that should be an A is Gunsmith. Hackle's a great artist, and this album just has like a really fun vibe to it that I really like. He like brings like a completely different vibe to the group that I really like more of a trap influence. And I get not everyone's like crazy about it, but I like it a lot. Next album is Rainbow Bridge, the original. I feel like the best songs on here are some of Cemetery's best ever. There's no bad songs at all. The album just kind of sounds the same, you know? Like I feel like that's like everyone's main like complaint with the album. It just like all sounds the same. But no, it's all like the same good song though, so I don't really care. Moving on to the next one, I put 100 Acre Wrist. And I know a lot of people love this and like would say it's his best, but I just like don't enjoy it as much as his Grave House. I just don't know what it is. I just like don't see what's so special about it. It's great. I like it a lot, but like I just don't think it's like anywhere near his best. And then next for the top of A tier, I put Haunted Nation. I think it's better than Gunsmith in almost every way. Or no, wait. I think it's better than Gunsmith in every single way. It has some of my favorite from any Haunted Mound project, and it just has like a super fun vibe that none of the other projects have. He's not like trying to act like tough or anything. He's just trying to have like a fun time. I just really love songs like Get Some and D Does Too as well. But no, this is a great project. I feel like I don't see enough people talk about it. And finally, we get to S tier, their best projects. First, I'm gonna put Obscura Noctis Mors. This is Turnabout's first project since he left Haunted Mound, and I think it's fantastic. Like seriously, like the creepier production, it's like more ambient and like eerie. It like goes with Turnabout's like really like loud vocals, just like guttural, the guttural sounds. It's just like I think like mix it together to be like great, you know. This one's like it's super different from the rest of like Haunted Mound, and like I get why, you know, because he's like not a part of it anymore. He can like do what he wants. I like really like that he went in this direction. I think this is like great. And next up is Warboy, which I just love. It's just such a good collection of songs. Every song hits so hard. And 10,000 Weeping Choirs is like maybe my favorite song of his, or at least top three. Moving on is Gravehouse, his very first project. I think this is fantastic, especially for his first project. Ghost Mountain Ghost Mountain has some of his best performances in the whole history of Haunted Mound on here, and there's some of the most creative production as well. The only really complaint, the only real complaint I have about it is just how long every song is. Like it feels like it could be like cut a minute shorter, but whatever, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I still love the album so much. I listened to this thing so much back in like 2021, 2022. And finally, for what I think their best project is, I think it's Rainbow Bridge 3. It has some of Cemetery's best production, lyrics, and just like overall energy. Like the whole thing has that sort of like loud, like blown out sound that he like like it's got like the sound of his old music, but it's also like got that more like experimental, just like super loud, just like stuff I like a lot. You know, I feel like the whole album has I feel like the whole album has just like a vibe to it. Like he builds like sort of like a world in this album that I really like. And he like never done it before up to this point. And he hasn't really released anything like this since then either. I just love this album to death. And I know like this is the one that a lot of new gens came from, like from the Anthony Fantano review, but I just don't care. This one's so good. And yeah, that's my Haunted Mound ranking. I didn't really like write an outro or anything, but like yeah, just thank you for watching. If you have any like suggestions for stuff I should cover in like another video, just leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't like my ranking, that's fine. Just leave a comment about it or something. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.